Hi everyone, I am finally back with another video. I'm so sorry it's been a couple of weeks, but I hope you are all doing good. Now, as you can tell, I'm not home. We got caught up in the storm, so we're hoping to get home today if the trains are all good. Although we won't go there right now. But yeah, Alex has got airport standby today, and then it's alright for him. He gets to spend the first couple of hours up here, so it's fine. But yeah, so a few people have been messaging me asking when I'm gonna provide an update on the house because I did promise a house series. Now, you're gonna get your update. You're also gonna find out why there hasn't been any updates yet. So obviously we got the offers accepted in November. So for those who don't know, basically we're selling the house that I've lived in since I was 14 with my gran to then buy another buy a bungalow for me and gran to be able to both move in into. Now, for those of you who don't know, my gran's in a nursing home, even though she doesn't actually need to be in there because the house is completely unsuitable. And pretty much ever since, she's just been like, Steph, I want to come home, Steph, I want to come home. So because she can't come back to the house because it's completely unsuitable for both of us, I basically was like, okay, let's see what we can do. Saw a bungalow. I'm really sorry for this lighting, by the way, but if I do it the other side, because I don't have makeup on right now, the lighting actually like makes me look ill. I mean, you can't see me properly. That's how bad it is. So I turned around and said, right, okay, let's look into this, see what we can do. And we found a bungalow, put in our offers, got the house on the market, this, that, and the other, after a very long search, which I'm going to do a whole other video on that as well, actually, about sort of trying to find a house that is suitable for renovations when you have a disability and suitable for access and things like that, because it was a very long search. But we've done all that. Obviously Christmas came, so I had a bit of a break. January, up until now, it's been having the searches done, having the surveys done, got the contract signed, and then I'm not going to name them, but after all that happened, our solicitor received a letter from a third party, and I will refer to them as third party. I'm not going to start naming things because I don't want this completely blown out of proportion. Basically stating that I couldn't go on the deeds of the property with Gran and it would have to be in Gran's sole name. Bearing in mind that so far, all the legal fees I've paid for myself out my own bank account. I'm also paying for the renovations on the bungalow, which, is not going to be cheap. We've potentially got to get planning permission. I've got to look into all of that because the disabled access ramps and wheelchair ramps, whatever you feel more comfortable with calling them, just ramps in general, it comes to a point where if they're permanent, you quite often have to get planning permission for them. So we've got to look into that. I then also have a load of other stuff to sort out, but half the stuff that I need to try and sort out, I can't actually do unless I'm on the property deeds. So it's like, oh, hang on a second, what the hell? So anyway, I spoke to my gran yesterday about it. We had a very long conversation. My gran, I know my thoughts on it. My thoughts are, do you know what? I know that not being on the deeds, if Gran needs to go back into a nursing home, she gets worse, is going to leave me in a really, really bad situation, and potentially I am not going to, I'm not going to have a secure housing situation, this, that, and the other. But at the same time, I'm like, I just want my gran home. Is that too much to ask? My gran's views are on it that I don't put any money into it whatsoever until this is sorted. Like, I don't put money into any renovations. I don't put money into sort of the plans that I've got for the bungalow. Basically, her words were, until it's sorted, worst case scenario, we just have to try and make do. Which is even more difficult for me because it's like, I had all these plans, everything else, thought, right, we can do this, that and the other. But with Gran, I'm kind of one of these people where I'm just like, I love my Gran to bits. So with Gran, it's like what Gran says goes. Even though she says, you can, what's your thoughts on this, that and the other? Ultimately, what my Gran says goes. The amount of things I've had in the past where it's been like, oh, I'm not too sure if I should do this, I'm not too sure if I should do that, and Gran's been like, just go and do it anyway. She's got me through some really hard times and everything. So yeah, it's one of those situations where it's like, we just don't know what we can do. Until we get a copy of the letter that got sent to our solicitors, there's not really much we can do. Because I think my Gran literally, like, when I told her what had gone on, the first thing my Gran said to me yesterday was, do they even have any legal right to do that? Well, there's nothing online about this situation, and we can't have been the only people put into this situation. So I've obviously got to try and find that out, because, at the moment, everything's on hold until we get it sorted. Because, Gran absolutely isn't happy about me not being on the deeds. So that's the update on that. So that's the whole reason you haven't got a house series yet, but I have got the content planned. I will be doing a video on sort of searching for properties when you're disabled, what to look for, what you don't want, this, that and the other. This was an 18-month search. And I know that sounds crazy to some people. They're like, what, 18 months, really? But yeah, this was an 18-month search. An 18-month search, which I've ended up wanting to scream quite a bit. Because I started this before we even got the go-ahead to actually be able to do it. I started looking, just that we were raring to go. And in the whole 18-month period, there were 3 properties, including the bungalow we put an offer in. There were 3 properties suitable. The first 2 we lost. The second one would have been really tight because the second bedroom was so small. The first one, I had like some really big plans for it, which, we were just like, when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, we've snapped up a bargain if we can get it. And we lost it. So, and then the third one, we were just like, right, okay, this could be slightly out of our budget if we're not careful. Luckily enough, when we did all the calculations, and we got the offer that we needed to get on the house, it turned out it was within budget perfectly fine. So we were just like, right, okay, thank God for that. It just meant that I would be having to pay some of the legal fees and things like that for the sale and purchase, which, like I say, I don't mind. I didn't mind. I still don't mind. It's just that now this new thing's come up where they're like, oh no, you're not allowed to be on the property deeds. It's going to get really interesting. Because it's like, if they don't let me on, I know for a fact my Gran's going to be really annoyed that I've put money into it. And I know what my Gran's like, and I know my Gran is going to want to make sure that she puts that money back in my account, which by said third party will probably just annoy said third party even more. But we're just going to, there's so many bridges that we're just going to have to cross when it gets to it. But it's just another obstacle that's been thrown in the way. Because meanwhile, whilst all this is going on, Gran is still in a nursing home and we're still having to pay for that. So, yeah, it's getting stressful. But yeah, there you go. In terms of the main channel as well, I've had a couple of messages on that. Right now with this, it's really difficult to type up my blog posts, and there's been a few that have just been absolute they've just not been good whatsoever. So yeah, anyway, talking of my lovely grandmother, my Gran's trying to phone me. So I am going to have to end this video here, but I promise I will be back with another video soon. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and if you have somehow been in this situation or a similar one, please comment below and let me know what you did about it, because I'm at loggerheads right now with people. But yeah, there we go. Have a great one and see you all soon. Bye.